listen-only mode.
Good evening, friends, esteemed guests, and distinguished professional. So today, warm welcome on our special webinar on MSME Samadhan, which is a delayed payment monitoring system. I'm thrilled to see such a dedicated gathering of individuals committed to exploring new avenues in the field of our profession. In the today evening, we'll embark on a journey of discovery, uncovering the intricacy of the MSME Samadhan entire system, its potential impact on our practice as we dwell into the steps to recover outstanding payment and navigate the challenges ahead. Let us keep our minds open to new possibilities and our determination unwavering. I encourage each one of you to actively participate, ask the question, and engage with our esteemed speaker. Our today's speaker, CA Rubbal Anil Bhandari, as we'll dwell into this vital topic. Thank you all for joining in this enlightening journey. Let make today's session as one of the remembering session, important session. Friends, we have a Sagar Gargji who is joined on mobile, but we are not able to connect him as of now. He is the present chairman of Dhule branch, which is one of the very important branch in the journey of MSME. So we'll take him later on. We welcome CA Ankush Jain, CA Sachin Sethi, the founder and the co-founder at eMSME. We welcome you, sir, for joining. And first, we listen to Ankush Bhai, who is doing a great work, the nation building work in terms of what we can say, and all the chartered accountant making a taxpayer. But the Ankush Bhai is making or creating a Labharthi, where the Modi ji is meeting the Labharthi and Nirmala madam is meeting the taxpayer. So we welcome Ankush Bhai and would like to request you to address our today's attendees as a welcome address. So over to you, Ankush Bhai. Please unmute yourself. Yes, please address.
Shukriya Virag Bhai for having me here. Good evening, Bhandari ji and Sachin Bhai. So guys, I am CA Ankush Jain, founder of fintech company called Ajwa Fintech, and the brand name eMSME, where E stands for easing, enabling, and empowering MSME. Today's topic is about the Samadhan, which Bhandari ji is taking. So related to that and linked to that topic, there is one section introduced, which is revolutionary section, section 43BH. So I'll just request you guys to go through that section also. There are a few reels made available, and Nirmala Sitharaman ji also clarified the section beautifully. That section came under force in 2008, and since then till now, we are violating that section. So Samadhan is one step ahead of it. If those buyer are not making payments of your goods and services within 45 days, then Samadhan is applicable. So I'll suggest or request Virag Bhai that let us first hear about the Samadhan portal, and then we can take up about the 43BH and why we won't need to go to the Samadhan only if that section 43BH is implemented in its true sense and spirit. So over to you, Virag Bhai. I would like to say a little bit at the end.
Okay, sir. So thank you, Ankush Bhai. Would like to request our today's special guest, Sachin Sethi ji, to speak few words for the audience. Sachin Bhai.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I think yes. Now, sorry, I was unable to unmute myself, but now I think the topic itself is really relevant, and I think, as Ankush Bhai mentioned, about section 43 BH, it's hot topic and something relevant to that, and how to really conclude and find solution to that is where MSME Samadhan comes to play. As Ankush Bhai clearly mentioned, we do have specific speaker talking about it, so we would like to hear Rubbal Bhai talk about it, and then maybe add certain things that we are doing on that front. Thank you.
And now I would like to invite our today's guest speaker, dear Rubbal Anil Bhandari ji. Welcome, sir. Sir, you can share the screen now. Yes, we can see your
Yes,
screen.
I've shared. I think it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Virag Shah for arranging such a beautiful seminar, webinar for empowering
Sir, before you address, I would like to introduce you in a brief. I mean, many are already connected with you on LinkedIn and other platform, and today's session also live on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. But you are as a senior managing partner at Rubbal Anil Bhandari and Associate, leading the team of professionals who provide a comprehensive and customized financial solution to many MSMEs client, specialized in GST audit, advanced ruling, internal control audit, tax planning, MSME payment dispute application, which is our today's session, bank finance and international taxation. More than 18 years of experience as an CA, have developed a deep understanding of the financial laws and regulation in India and abroad, and have successfully handled complex challenges, cases for various sectors and industries. Sir's mission is deliver high quality and ethical service that add value to the clients and help them to achieve their financial goals. Sir is a passionate about work and always strive to exceed expectation and maintain long-term relationship. So with this, would like to request each and everyone to connect with all our esteemed professional, speaker, Ankush Bhai, we have Sachin Bhai, to connect them on LinkedIn, also obviously our today's speaker, for long-term association as well. With this, would like to request Rubbal Bhai to take the proceeding ahead for our today's session.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Virag Bhai, and the commendable job you guys are doing, organizing such seminars, educational seminars, which can benefit the profession. So, a very good initiative. Keep it up. Warm welcome to Sachin ji and Ankush ji. Warm welcome to all the attendees who are sparing some time to learn something new along with every one of us. So I'll just begin the session. Today's topic, as we all know, is MSME Samadhan delayed payment monitoring system. How do we, as a CA, we add one more feather in our cap, which can be a new field of practice for us, as well as just a minute. Okay. As the name suggests, it is MSME Samadhan, and the council which takes care of it is Micro and Small Enterprise Facilitation Council. So before we proceed with the process, the total process where the applications can be made, we will go through some basic concepts under this MSEFC, which will help us understanding the whole process. And we will, after this, take some FAQs also, which are available on the portal as well. But I have shortlisted some of the FAQs for better understanding and easy going through. Thereafter, I will be showing the total process, how to actually file an application. So the first of the basic concept under this is, it is applicable to micro and small enterprises only. So a person who is under medium category will not be able to take this facility or approach the Samadhan for recovery proceedings. As we all know, traders cannot take benefit of this, because this is available to manufacturers and service providers only. Classification of micro or small is based on investment and turnover both, right? In February or March end, when we all were scratching our head for 43BH, how to save our clients from that, and we all learned that the turnover criteria is there. Everybody was focusing on the turnover criteria. Okay, sir, if you are crossing 50 crores, then you are a medium enterprise. This is not applicable to you, and other laws. We will not go deep into that. But investment criteria is also to be seen. Cumulative, if it is crossing the limits, only then your category is under medium, else you will remain in small or micro, as the case may be. Udyam registration is a must and should be earlier than the invoice under dispute. So if you want to approach the Samadhan council for recovery proceedings, so you have to make sure that you are already registered under Udyam, and your Udyam registration must date back, or it should be earlier than the invoice date. In Gujarat, if the amount of recovery, the amount to be recovered is more than 50 lakhs, then the application will be handled by Gandhinagar office. Else there are other offices you can select from: Ahmedabad, Surat, Vadodara, Bhavnagar and Rajkot. So according to your vicinity or the city you are living in, you can select the council. So below 50 lakhs cases will be handled by the city offices: Ahmedabad, Surat, Vadodara, Bhavnagar and Rajkot, and more than 50 lakhs will be handled by Gandhinagar. There are 3 stages of filing application under MSEFC. The first stage is online or physical application. Online application is the most preferable mode. Even if you are not able to file online application due to any reason, some technical reasons, which we will discuss at a later stage, then you can file a physical application also. The forms and formats are available online, or you can ask the particular department and they will provide you the details of physical application. Once the online application is filed, then a notice is served to both the parties, specifically the respondent, and he has to, in the notice, a 15 days grace period is given, that within 15 days if you do not make the payments, then this application will be considered converted to case. Here comes the second stage, conversion to case, that is conciliation process and hearing. Right. So second stage is the most important stage. Most of the cases are completed over here. Around 70 to 80% cases get closed in this stage. Somehow the conciliation, during the conciliation process, the Samadhan is not achieved. Then comes the next stage, that is the third stage. It is called arbitration. Again, there is a hearing process, and at the end of this arbitration process, in case the Samadhan is not achieved, then the petitioner gets an award, which is equivalent to court's decree order. Once you receive an award, yes, the respondent can file an appeal. But for filing an appeal against the award, he has to deposit 75% of the total amount as mentioned in the award. Recovery proceedings after receiving an award are to be initiated through court. There is also an automatic process through which it is being handled by NESL. We'll discuss it at a later stage. A person having final award is considered as a secured creditor. In NCLT cases, I'm sure many of us would be practicing in insolvency and bankruptcy cases. So this makes you a secured creditor, provided you intimate the IPR in advance. Wholesale and retail trade and repair of motor vehicles are not covered under this Samadhan scheme. They can get themselves registered as traders or service providers for maintenance and repairing services. But however, they are not eligible for filing under this Samadhan scheme. Now, as we move forward, there are certain documents which are required to file an application under the MSME Samadhan portal. I'll quickly go through it. Purchase order, a very must thing. Invoices for which payment is outstanding. Copy of e-way bills and delivery challans, confirmation of ledger if possible, contact details of seller with email ID and mobile number, and buyer with email ID and mobile number. Quality report of goods sold, if any. Right? If before dispatching the goods, if you are in the habit of getting the quality report of the goods which you are going to dispatch, then you should keep it handy. Details of payments received against bills, if any. RPD acknowledgement for copy of application along with other documents after initial application. Last 2 years audited balance sheet showing gross block of plant and machinery. Why this is important? Because if you claim to be a manufacturer, then a certain part of plant and machinery should be there in your books of accounts. That is a very important aspect during the second stage in conciliation. We'll discuss this at length. Copy of EM2 or Udyog or Udyam certificate, list of goods, services manufactured or provided to the buyer, copy of agreement between buyer and seller, if any. If goods or services are not accepted by buyer, then reason for not accepting the same or rejecting the same. Now, there is a 15 days rule. Most of us would be aware about it. Even then, I will just throw some light on it. In case our customer or our client rejects the goods or services provided by us, right, then he has to do so within 15 days of the receipt of the goods. If he doesn't do so, then he cannot put a claim thereafter that, sir, I have rejected the goods, I have issued a credit note, blah, 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 because of lower quality or so. Samadhan, the conciliation office, the conciliation court will not accept it, right? So as a chartered accountant, when we are auditing for our clients, then we should make them or educate them that in case you have to reject goods because of default in the quality, then it should be done within 15 days. Otherwise, the seller may sue us for payments under the MSME Samadhan. Reasons for not making the full payment by purchaser buyer as per invoice. If you have any documented reasons, suppose the seller has sent you a mail and everything, then you should keep it handy so that, and you should properly respond to that so that during the reconciliation status, this will come to your rescue. Details of action taken by seller to recover the outstanding dues. Generally, if the dues are not more than 6 months, then they do not ask for the action taken. But if they are more than 6 months old, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, then they definitely ask that what steps have you taken for recovery? How many reminders have you given them? So that should be some documented proofs like emails, screenshot of your WhatsApp, right? Or any other mode, like if you have sent a letter through speed post or so, then a copy of the same along with the speed post receipt. So these are handy because they want to make sure that, you know, suddenly you awake from the sleep and you realize that, yes, I want to go recover this amount, let's go to Samadhan. So if the period is more, then they question the legibility. There is an annexure 1 to be annexed during the second stage. Statement showing bill-wise outstanding as on date of application in the prescribed format along with interest calculation certified by a CA. Right now, this has to be certified by CA. Some councils allow the statutory auditor or tax auditor to certify it. Some councils ask for a certification from other CA than your statutory auditor or a tax auditor. So this is again certification option is there for us as a professional. We can charge a fee accordingly. Interest has to be calculated at the rate of 3 times of the RBI repo rate. For example, RBI repo rate currently is around 6%. So it would be 18% compounded monthly. So 1.5% monthly, and it has to be compounded on a month-on-month basis. This certificate has to be calculation has to be certified by a CA. Annexure 2, details of delay payment report to be notarized. They have a fixed format of Annexure 2 along. It is like an index copy of what yes, certain yes, no's, and what documents are you attaching along with the application. And this certificate, this Annexure 2 has to be notarized. Any other as may be required by the department. The first 2 documents in the list for the filing an application are required compulsory: purchase order and invoices for which payment is outstanding. Now, question may arise that if we do not have purchase order, then what we do, right? Because most of the cases in MSME, generally it has been seen that the dealings, the trading or the activity takes place on phone confirmation, oral confirmations on phone only. They do not have any purchase orders to bring as a proof. So in this case, if you do not have a purchase order, then you have to prepare an affidavit to this effect that the goods were sold on oral confirmation by the customer, and this fact has to be written on a stamp paper and get it notarized. So you can submit it in that fashion also. We'll go through some FAQs which are very important. I have shortlisted them for a better understanding. Whether 90 days period for settlement of claim starts from the date of filing the case or issue of notice to buyer. Before going to the answer, let me tell you that there is a period of 90 days for arbitration, right? It has to be the arbitration, the third stage has to be completed within 90 days. The moment the conciliation office refers our case to the arbitration, then the period of 90 days starts. So that as the answer is there on the screen, the time period begins only after notice of arbitration under section 83 of MSMED Act has been given. Is work order, purchase order compulsory to file application on MSME Samadhan portal? Yes, work order is compulsory or purchase order is compulsory. In case purchase order is oral, an affidavit to that effect has to be submitted. On which email ID OTP is sent? Once you start the application process, you receive an OTP to proceed further. This OTP will be received on the registered email ID in UDYM certificate. So always keep your UDYM certificate handy whenever you are filing an application, because you will be receiving the OTP on the email ID registered. Whether a legal notice by the supplier to buyer is necessary before filing the case in the council? So the answer is no. You do not need to file any legal, give any legal notice to the buyer for your case to be accepted by the council. Whether a claim can be filed for interest alone, where the claimant has received principal of dues already. Now, this is a very interesting question. What it means to say is that if I have already received my dues, I have received the full payment, but the payment was late. So can I claim the interest? The answer is yes. We can use the Samadhan portal for claiming the interest as well, or only interest as well. We have done this recently for 2 of our clients. Whether receivables from buyer, such as advance deposit, EMD, statutory deposit, as other than supply of goods and services, can be claimed in the claim before the council? Yes, it includes in the total due amount if it is in the course of business related to manufacturing and services. Other conditions have to be satisfied. Whether council should decide on breach of contract between buyer and supplier, such as rejection of goods for quality deficiencies by buyer as ground for refusal to dues to supplier. Breach of contract is not within the scope of MSMED Act. Rejection of goods should be genuine within 15 days of the receipt of the goods and its immediate communication to supplier. As we discussed earlier, written communication, proper proof of rejection should be there. What is the process of execution of award and the role of counsel in assisting the claimant? Procedure is under section 36 of Arbitration and Conciliation 1996. As I said that recovery proceedings can be done through a civil suit in a civil court. There is one other option. We will discuss this while discussing the process. Whether a government department as a buyer can be proceeded against in the council? Yes, definitely. If your client or your customer is a government department and they are delaying the payments, then you can definitely go to the Samadhan portal and ask for remedy. The important thing is, general thinking is that government department hai, पैसा डूबेगा नहीं, पैसा तो आ ही जाएगा, आज नहीं तो कल आ जाएगा. Yes, in 99% of the cases, this is true. पैसा तो आ जाएगा. But when it comes late, what about the interest? Because as a businessman, we have certain interest cost. as most of the businessmen run their businesses on using loans. Either it is bank loan or it is unsecured loans. But when you are paying interest, then why not to claim interest when the payment is late? If the same or related subject matter is under another court proceedings, whether a claim is admissible in counsel. So if you have filed a civil suit or you have filed a court case against for recovery of the proceedings, then you cannot, I repeat, you cannot file an application under the counsel, because the general law is, okay, you cannot proceed in two different courts for a single matter. What is the impact of insolvency proceedings on the proceedings taken up in the counsel? The award by the counsel is to be communicated to interim resolution professional and then to NCLT as per procedural law. I'm not much into it, but some basic I will like to discuss. Before you apply to the MSME Samadhan portal, if your buyer, your customer, your client is under NCLT, then it is your duty to intimate the IRP professional that, sir, we are looking to file an application under the MSME Act with the Samadhan portal, and whenever we receive the award, we will give it to you, and we request you to kindly acknowledge it and convert us to secured creditors. If prior intimation is not given, then the IRP will not entertain it at the end. Whether an award holder from the council can gain any preferences creditor in insolvency proceedings? Yes. He will be considered as a secured creditor. However, the award has to be a final order. Interim order will not be accepted here. Whether request of any party to have representation by attorney or any other authorized agent can be allowed by counsel. If so, what are the conditions to be fulfilled? Yes, authorized persons can represent the clients, the customers, the companies by way of an irrevocable power of attorney. His commitment must be binding upon the buyer, the seller. Resolution is required for this. Whether a time barred receivable from a buyer can be decided by counsel. As a general law of limitation, we cannot file a civil suit or proceedings if the cases are more than 3 years old. So yes, no limitation is applicable in arbitration by counsel. Once your case has crossed the second stage, and during the arbitration stage, if the time limit is crossed, then it will not be considered. But before filing application, if 3 years have lapsed, then it will be considered by the Limitation Act. And however, as I discussed, that if the time gap is more than 6 months, or like 1 year or 2 years, then again they will see that the supplier was not sleeping over his legal rights and cannot get assistance on counsel just by awaking himself up. What are the exemptions available under the law of limitation in treating a receivable from limitation of time barring? Law of limitation is applicable. However, that should not be delay and laches on the part of the supplier. Whether notices can be served by email, SMS, WhatsApp. So SMS I would not prefer, but yes, email and WhatsApp, they are considered as legal documents and you can serve the notices. In fact, when we go through the process of filing an application, we will see that is an automatic process where the notices are served through mail by the council itself. Whether the claim should be submitted in hard copy also. Now, once if you have submitted online application, do we need to submit hard copy? Yes, it is necessary. A submission is required, duly signed and verified. But physical submission comes when the application has been accepted and converted to case. Right? Basically, when coming to the second stage, you will receive an intimation from the department in general through mails that your case has been converted and now this is the date when you are supposed to come for hearing. So before coming that, you are supposed to file a physical submission with all the relevant documents as mentioned in the email. Who should prepare claim statement and is there any need for verification by a chartered accountant? As we have discussed, That claim preparation is primarily the responsibility of the claimant. It is to be certified from a CA. But if as a CA we are providing the services, then of course we will be preparing the claim statement along with the interest and all. Whether the claim against deceased buyer or dissolved company of buyer is maintainable in counsel. Deceased buyer is liable through his legal heirs, but dissolved company is always under some authority and claim is maintainable. So as I discussed in one of the cases, that if it is under NCLT, then yes, NCLT we can put up our claim over there, provided certain conditions are fulfilled. How company and partnership entities can be represented in the proceedings. A company through its MD with resolution of board of directors and partnership firms through its managing partners. Again, the process is a company will authorize the MD and MD will give an further authorization to the chartered accountant or other professional as the case may be. Similar case with the partnership firms. The managing partner will get authorized by the resolution and then he will in turn authorize some other person. Is it absolutely necessary to have work order as evidence? Can counsel allow secondary and corroborated evidence? Acknowledgement on invoice, delivery challenge or part payment, email, etc. all are accepted, but this should be used as a secondary proof. Make sure or guide your clients to have an purchase orders in advance. Most of the clients come up with an excuse, sir, we are not that savvy, we don't have the system of creating purchase orders and all, our customers do not entertain that. Okay, fine, then you can use different methods, like when you receive an oral confirmation, just put up a WhatsApp. Yes sir, as per the oral confirmation ye hai, these are the details, these are the quality, and this is the quantity, and this is the rate at which the order has been confirmed. Please confirm this so that we can proceed. Everybody using WhatsApp, and this can be used as a purchase in place of a purchase order in case we need to. How many notices are to be served to opposite party? If notices are not acknowledged, what are next steps for declaring ex parte proceedings? Now, when the conciliation second stage is starting the hearing, it sends notices to both the parties, the buyer and the seller. So as a seller, we will definitely respond because we are the one who initiated these things. But if the buyer is not responding, then what happens? The notice of counsel is to be published in daily newspaper of the area where the respondent is located with the order of counsel after 3 notices are issued. So in the second stage, the counsel will give 3 chances to the respondent to appear and justify his delay payment, why he is not paying or so, whatever reason he has. But he fails to do so, he doesn't appear. Then before proceeding to the arbitration, this is the stage. The counsel will publish. The counsel may decide to publish and may not. Is the award binding on foreign buyers? This is very interesting. Yes, but only if certain conditions are fulfilled. Right? I will just quickly go through it. When the supplier is a micro or small enterprise, an agreement is made between micro small enterprises in India. So this has to be noted that the agreement has to be made in India. Goods are purchased, taken by foreign buyer and he returns to his country. So what does this indicate? That the foreign buyer was in India, he bought your services or goods and he returned to his country. Payment terms are not honored in these circumstances. Matter can be filed before the council. After following due procedure of law, the council can issue award and the same could be sent to both consulates. That is foreign buyer consulate in that country, it can be enforced. This seems to be a very typical and dicey situation because if your buyer, your client or customer is sitting outside India and the orders are through emails and so I am afraid that council will not be able to help you with that. Okay, so till now, do we have any questions? Virag, we have the question session open now.
Rubbal ji, you can check now, sir.
Okay. So if till now, if anyone has any question, so they can put up the question in the question answer section. So we'll try to address as many as we can. So as of now, I'm not able to see any questions. So I think, okay, we've received a question that do they go for recovery? Do they go for recovery? By they, I suppose you are referring the council, right? I'm afraid to say that council will not go anywhere to recover.
Yeah, there are a few more questions.
Yeah. What is the meaning of is 15 days goods return rules under MSMED Act? Yes, the 15 days goods return rule is under the MSME Act. Whether PPT will be shared, I'll try to share the PDF version of the same. You can, I'll share it with Mr. Virag. Any options available to recover dues before the date of registration? I am afraid it is not. Mr. Vishnu Murthy, he has left, but he had a question. So the question was that if the invoice date is prior to the date of registration under MSME, like UDMA certificate, can we anyhow claim? No. The straight answer is no, because that will be clear while we go through the process also. This is for small and micro. What about medium enterprises? Where do they go for recovery? Sir, directly go to courts, because the council will not help you as of now, because as of now, one important thing I would like to discuss over here is that suppose currently your invoice is dated or belongs to financial year 22-23. For that year, you were into micro or small category. In current year, 23-24, your business has flourished and you are upgraded to medium category. You will be able to file, because at the time your invoice belonged to the stage where you were under small or micro category. What is the meaning of a trader? So trader is like who is not a manufacturer or who is not providing a service. So who is simply buying goods and selling it without adding anything to it, right? If you have to prove that you have added anything to it. I'll just take an example. We have some textile traders as our clients. So what they do is they get their goods manufactured, like jeans or shirt, whatever it is, on job work basis, right? They buy the raw cloth, they send it to the job worker. The job worker, on the basis of the designs, size provided by our client, he manufactures the goods and dispatches to our client, and our client again sends it or sells it to his customers. So in this case, this person can be considered as a manufacturer. First thing he has to be very sure about while applying for UDMA certificate, he has to apply as a manufacturer and not as a trader. And secondly, sometimes the council may ask for a statement from the job worker, right? And he has to come and say that yes, we totally work out or prepare the shirts or ready-made garment, whatever it is, according to the designs, color, pattern provided by your client. In this case, your case can be accepted. Sir, if trader not receiving amount from their seller, any chance to get it through MSME? I am afraid no, sir. When are we supposed to submit hard copies to council? It is to be submitted in the second stage when your application is converted to a case, and you will receive an email for the same. The scheme is for small. Where do they go? Yes, medium enterprises have to go to court as discussed. Do parties need to submit any documents once payment is settled? Or how authorities ensure that award payment is processed? Yes, we'll go through the process. While we go through the process, there is an option to update the payments received against your application. Once you do that, the application will be closed if total payment has been received. Apart from trader, why repair of motor car excluded? They are service providers. Is it specific exclusion? Yes, it is a specific exclusion, specifically excluded because they are covered under the NIC 45. Right? NIC 46 is for wholesalers, NIC 47 is for retailers. So these three NICs are specifically excluded for MSME Samadhan portals. However, we are expecting that persons who are exclusively providing repair and maintenance services, right, they may get a chance to represent themselves. But as of now, the notification or amendment is awaited. Apart from trader, why repair of motor car excluded? Yes, we have done this. Are PWD contractors considered as service providers? Well, we will have to see into the contract which they have entered into. If it is purely a service provider, they are 100% providing services, then they can. Can a trader file suit? I think answer is no. I'll not consider this as a suit, but yes, application. So trader cannot file. One important thing, again, I would like to discuss. Suppose if you are registered as a manufacturer, your UDMA certificate shows that you are registered as a manufacturer. So, and you file an application, but the application against which you are filing are for traded goods. You bought something and you sold it to someone, and that recovery is pending. So during the conciliation stage, they will verify all the documents and they will reject the application. During the course of MSME proceeding, if the buyer makes a part payment, can the supplier accept the sum? Yes, definitely, because see, the portal ka naam hi kya hai? MSME Samadhan. So if you amicably come to a Samadhan that, sir, leave MSME FC application and all, we don't want to go into it. Let's sit and a table pe baithte and let's decide upon the amount, right? Because the what motivates the buyer to come for the Samadhan is the interest cost, right? 18% interest compounded monthly. It generally turns around to 19 or 20% interest. So अगर आपका 10 लाख रुपए बाकी है तो almost 2 lakhs rupees is the interest cost for around 2 to 3 years. 2-3 साल के अंदर अगर देखा जाए तो उतना बड़ा अमाउंट हो जाता है. 1 साल का भी गिनो तो इतना हो जाता है, 2-3 साल का तो 50% of the amount इतना हो जाएगा. So definitely you can, and whenever you receive a sum, you can simply update on the portal as well, and you can give an intimation to the council as well. How can a manufacturer change his status on MSME site once his turnover has crossed the limit? See, once again, I will say that the status micro, small, and medium, this is automatically selected based on the data on the income tax returns and on GST returns filed by us time to time. Because when you go for the registration, your PAN is linked to it, and so is the ITR. So whenever you file an ITR, the date, it picks the data from that. An important point to note about it, the depreciation method which we generally follow for non-companies in proprietorship or partnership form, what we do is fixed assets, WDV, less depreciation, closing value. That value is carried forward next year, and then again depreciation is calculated. But under MSME, whenever you get registration, so the amount of investment is to be considered at cost, right? आपने 4 साल पहले 5 साल पहले भी अगर मशीन खरीदी तो उसकी कॉस्ट क्या थी at that time? So that constitutes the investment value. So your turnover and investment both cumulative, if it crosses the limit of 50 crores and 10 crores respectively, only then your status will change to medium, else you will remain in small or micro. If the supply made by seller party accepted or rejected, whether the seller can file under Samadhan. Supply partly accepted or rejected, whether yes, you can see again. If it is partly accepted or partly rejected, it first you have to see whether it is done within 15 days or not. If not, then you can definitely file an application under Samadhan for the full value. If it is done partly rejected within 15 days and the rest of the amount is still pending after the time period of 15 days or 45 days as the case may be, then again you can approach the Samadhan. Okay, now this is an interesting question. Registration has been done as a trader, but the trader has taken some manufacturing activities and he has sold those goods. Now can he apply? Recently we had a case like this. They had registered as a trader, but then they ended up providing services worth of lakhs. They forgot to update the same during in the MSME Samadhan. Yes, our case was accepted, but before filing an application, we converted the certificate from trader to service, and then we applied. We received a query from the department that before applying or the invoice date belongs to a period where you were registered as a trader. So why should we accept your application, right? We received a query and we have promptly replied it. And mostly we have a hearing by the end of this month. We are quite positive that it will be accepted. It will not be rejected. What care needs to be taken while filing a new UDMA application? While filing new UDMA application, just make sure that all the fields which you fill in are true and as per your books of accounts, especially the amount of investment in plant and machinery, right? And because any which case it will automatically get it with from the ITR which you have filed. Sir, what care needs to be taken? Ho gaya. Sir, what is the time limit to update MSME certificate at the time when dues generated? It was MSE, but presently at medium, whether supplier still can go for council. I think I have answered this already. At present, if you are under medium category, but your invoices or the dues outstanding relate to a stage when you were under small or micro category, then you can definitely go for it. How to determine the status of the buyer, whether it is a micro or small enterprise, if today the status is checked? The question is how to determine the status of the buyer, whether it is micro or small enterprise. If today the status is checked of any entity, it will be based on which year's data of turnover and investment. Generally they take data, जो भी data ये update करते हैं वो आपका last ITR जो file हुआ है उसके हिसाब से करते हैं first. And the most important thing is the application has nothing to do with the status of the buyer. Buyer can be at any stage, whether he is micro, small, medium. He may not be registered under MSME. It doesn't matter. Can a cancelled UDYAM be restored? Yes, it can be restored. How to determine the status of buyer? Okay. So can I cancel? Okay. So I think we have covered all the questions up till now. So I will start with the process. This will make things more clear. And meanwhile, if we have more questions, then we will take them along. So this is the portal. We have given the link over here. If you want, you can copy it down, or you can simply Google it. You will get it. This is the portal. Now the option marked in the red box is case filing for entrepreneurs. This is where you click when you want to file an application. To check the status of the case, once the application is filed, you have to click on the green part. Moving further, when you click on the case filing for entrepreneurs as MSME units, this is the screen which you see. So you have to select the Udyam registration number, and in case you forgot to migrate from Udyog Aadhaar to Udyam, then you can use the Udyog Aadhaar number. It will prompt you to migrate first Udyam register to Udyam, and then you can come again and proceed. So it asks for the mobile number, the verification code. Once you validate it, you receive an OTP, but the OTP is received on the registered mail ID. It is not received on the mobile. It will not receive as an SMS. It will be received on the registered email ID on the Udyam certificate. When you proceed with the, after putting this OTP, this is the screen where we come. So we go to the first option, that is application entry. To create a new application, all the applications which you have filed will be shown in the below table. The second option is entrepreneurs application list. Third is update payment. There was a question that if you receive the payment, then where can we update? You can update it to this option. And during the filing of application, if you do not update the PAN or GST number, then you can come again and update it from this option. Now, once you click on the first option, that is application entry, immediately the portal asks for application filing by petitioner and the date of invoice under dispute. So this is a first cross check. It may allow you to proceed further, even if the date of invoice is earlier than your Udyam registration. But at the final stage of submission, it will create an error. It will show an error that you are not allowed because of the date of the invoice is earlier than Udyam registration. Now, once you fill in the date, then this is the next screen. Here you have to enter the petitioner's detail, like your Udyam registration number. The options highlighted in gray, they are auto-filled. You do not have to fill them. Your address, yes, address of the petitioner, you have to fill it out. Mobile number, you have to fill it out. PAN number, GST number of petitioner, that is yours, the seller's. Email of the petitioner, your email ID is very much important. All the options marked in with the red asterisk are compulsory. In point number 3, you have to select, if you have multiple places of business, then you have to select from which place of business the invoice was issued, and you want to file for which unit. Option number 3.1. Just a minute. Option number 3.1. Do you want to send the application to MEFC of state in which corporate office is located? If you select yes, then the right option, application refer to the council. So as I discussed earlier, the basics of MSME application in Gujarat, these are the offices available where you can file. So be very careful when you choose this. If the total amount involved is more than 50 lakhs, then please select Gandhinagar. Because if you select any other, as of now, it will be accepted, but then there will be a process of transferring the case from one office to other, and that will again consume time. So be very careful. If the application total amount is more than 50 lakhs, then select Gandhinagar if you are in Gujarat, and if it is less than 50 lakhs, then select the nearest city to you. I am in Ahmedabad. I'll select Ahmedabad. In Ahmedabad, the office is selected in Bachat Bhavan. For those who are connected from Ahmedabad, the NIC you have to select. So when again there was a question, things to be cautious about while applying for an Udyam certificate. The NIC codes are very important. Make sure you select all the NIC codes as applicable to you. And if you look at the bottom, here I have to tick that I hereby declare that I am filing this application for the activities other than NIC codes 45, 46, 47. Right? So 45 is for persons who are into the trading of motor vehicles and services, repairs and services. it is not debarring you from getting registration. It is just debarring you from application under the Samadhan portal. Okay, so we will move to the next window. Once you complete this petitioner section, then comes the respondent, that is the buyer's detail. So here, if you see asterisk marks are there, you have to fill it, choose category. Category means whether he is a sole proprietor, individual, partnership firm, LLP, and so on. The details will be there in the drop-down list. Point number 5.6. And 5.7. They are not mandatory. However, it is highly recommended that you make sure to put in these details. Get the details of the buyer, his latest mobile number, whichever he is using, his email ID. If not, then if some email ID is mentioned on his on the bill or on his letterpad or any other communication which you have received, do not forget to enter these fields. Though they are not compulsory, but they are highly recommended because the notices, initial notices will be served through it. This makes it easier and faster. Okay. Now this is a very important, which I said that we will discuss it during the process. I'll just read out very quickly. I give my consent that once the award is passed by the MSEFC in my favor, a demand notice will be issued to my buyer company with the help of National E-Governance Services Limited, that is NESL, for recovery of due amount as per the provisions of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So, if you tick it, this is optional, but if you tick it, then definitely this will help in cases of private limited or limited companies, right? Because Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, NCLT provisions, those who are practicing in this field, इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोसीडिंग्स के लिए जो भी चीजें हैं उसके अंदर में वो ऑटोमेटिक वहां से प्रोसीड होनी शुरू हो जाएंगी. In case they do not, then you can simply approach the council and ask them to do so. Now the third part, that is uploads, works order and invoices. Work order details the date of invoice in dispute. So while going through this, I had entered 31st January 2023. That is why it is showing it over here. So I have to enter the invoice. I have to upload work order number 1. I have to enter the work order number, its date, work order number or purchase order number. In case you do not have either of them, you need to file an affidavit that this was an oral contract, and therefore all the details submitted are true to the best of my knowledge. Invoice number you have to mention and invoice date you have to mention. Now comes uploading the details. Kindly go through these details. I'll just highlight it just a minute. If you have more than one work order, merge them into single PDF file for uploading. Only PDF files are accepted. So if for a single buyer, if you have multiple purchase orders and they are pending, then you need not file a separate application for every work order number, because here only one work order number can be mentioned. So you can choose the earliest work order number or the latest one, and then create a PDF file for all the purchase orders, merge them into a single PDF file and upload over here. Similar case is there with the invoices. Okay. Similar case is there with the invoices. If there are multiple invoices pending, then you can merge them into a single PDF and upload it over here. Okay, so once this application is filed, when you submit it, it will show you a draft version. Just quickly go through it, that all the details which you have uploaded are true and correct. In case you need any modification, you can definitely correct it and then again check it, submit it, and finalize it. Once it is filed, within no time, you will receive this email. I'm just sharing a screenshot of the email and I have masked certain details. This is the kind of intimation which the Samadhan portal automatically sends through email. That is why I said the email is a very must, because if you do not mention the email of the buyer, he will not receive it. Then the procedure of manual filing or through speed post, it will have to be taken place, which will again take time. Quickly come to the last paragraph. If you can see, I've highlighted the 15 days work. I'll quickly read that. Now the MSE Ahmedabad hereby advises Messrs, that is the buyer, to pay the due amount as mentioned above to Messrs so and so supplier immediately and in no case later than 15 days from the receipt of the notice, failing which case will be registered by the MSE Ahmedabad. The supplier of goods is hereby advised to intimate the receipt of payment from the buyer of goods services immediately through this council. The buyer has certified that the information supplied by him and now included in this notice is true. So there is a correction. It should be the seller. The seller is certified. But any which ways, this is the kind of notice which is sent immediately to the buyer. A 15 days grace time is given that if he doesn't pay, then this will be considered into case. And the second is that its conciliation will start. Okay, so do we have any questions? We'll just quickly go through the. Up till now, do we have any further questions? One
Sir,
thing.
I have something to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
It was one of the best presentation I have seen. In so self-explanatory manner, you have explained everything. So before raising question, also you run that frequently asked question which answered everything, and you handled all objection wonderfully well. So shukriya for this. And with your kind permission, we would like to use your PPT for further awareness towards MSME.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
I will do that. I think we have a question over here. What if after award money is not received? I think we have discussed this earlier. I'll again discuss this. Once you receive the award, there are two options. First is you approach the civil court for the recovery proceedings, which in case you have not preferred an MSME Samadhan, you go to the court, then you receive a decree order. राइट डिक्री ऑर्डर के बाद भी आपको कोर्ट के पास जाना पड़ता है रिकवरी प्रोसीडिंग्स के लिए. सो इसमें और उसमें फर्क क्या है? द टाइम गैप. इन कोर्ट द टाइम गैप can be around 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, depending on the lawyers of both the sides, with due respect to all the legal professionals over here. And even then the recovery proceeding has to be done. Okay. Practically whether the MSME Samadhan is efficient for recovery. सर MSME कहीं रिकवरी के लिए नहीं जाएगा. It will not go to recover anything, right? It will give you an award. Now you have to proceed with the recovery proceedings. And अगर आपने वहां पर जहां वो मैंने एक ऑप्शन बताया था वो अगर आपने टिक किया है this in the red, if you have ticked this, then automatically it will go to the governance services, nationally governance services limited, where insolvency and bankruptcy code के अंडर में वो proceeding शुरू होगा automatically. Sir, if other party also MSME, what will be the course of action? Same. If the buyer is MSME registered or not, the course of proceedings will be same. Please share your experience, okay? How much MB file size is allowed while uploading the document? That is mentioned over there, sir. I'll just see if I can. It is generally 3 or 3 MB or so, but however, you can cross check it and downsize it. Can interest portion be reduced between parties in spite of higher interest awarded? Yes. Yes, as I earlier said, it is a Samadhan portal, right? So amicably, agar you sit on a table and you say instead of 18%, the buyer is proposing 9% interest, and if you're ready to accept it, some of the sellers may think that, sir, my main aim is to recover my principal amount. I'm not interested in the interest amount. If he's ready to pay the principal amount, I'm fine with it, right? So it totally depends on you. If you are ready with the proposal of the buyer, then it can be done. And once you achieve to a Samadhan, you have to update it. Don't forget to update it. What if the buyer is bankrupt? Yes, that is the good question. Generally, as a ethical practice, when a client approaches us to file an application under MSME, first question what I ask to them is the buyer available and doing business? You know his whereabouts and you know he is doing his business in other name, right? Whether he has closed that particular business name and started business in some other name whatsoever. But if is he available, is he traceable to you? If the answer is yes, then only we suggest them. Because if the answer is no, then who will answer the emails? Who will answer the notices? Right? So this is the general practice which we follow. Ultimately, if we do not find any result, then there is no sense in going for the application. One more thing which I would like to share is that the second stage, the council office, they have a very soft corner for sellers. They have a soft corner for sellers. They listen to them very carefully. And they come harsh on the buyers. Unless otherwise the buyer has a very genuine reason and he is able to prove all the supportings for his genuineness of not paying on time. Only and only then his point is accepted, otherwise not. I think we have answered all the questions and we do not have any further questions. Let's check. Yes. Yes, I hope that I made it a bit clear, or I tried my best to present it with all the required screenshots and all the available material which I had, and I've shared my knowledge. Okay, I just reminded of a case which I wanted to share. One case which we came across was that the person was registered under Udyog Aadhar, right? But there was a deadline to migrate to Udyam from Udyog Aadhar, and that was 30th June 2022. Earlier it was 31st March 2022, but it was given an extension of 3 months. So ultimately the deadline was 30th June 2022. What our client did was he forgot to migrate to Udyam. The invoice under question was for October 22, and he migrated in November 22 to Udyam. So when we were filing an application, right, obviously my Udyam registration date was November 22 and my bill date was earlier, so it was not allowing me to file it. So we tried to adopt the Udyog Aadhar route. When we adopted the Udyog Aadhar route, then it said that the invoice date has to be earlier than 30th June. It cannot be later than 30th June, because if you want to use Udyog Aadhar. So we were in a soup. What we do? So we immediately approached the council in Gandhinagar, because the quantum was big. It was more than 50 lakhs. We approached the council, the required commissioner and his staff. They looked at all the documents and they said that you proceed with the physical filing because online will not be available, and they will consider this, right? So this is also an important point to note. If you face a situation like this, always go to the council. They are in most of the cases ready to help and ready to guide. So with this, I think I am done. Really thank you all for your patient hearing, and once again thanking Viraj and other organizers. Thank you.
Rubbal bhai. Rubbal bhai, we have the few of the questions from the viewers
Yes,
on YouTube and LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
So we requested them to come on GoToWebinar, but meanwhile, if you can check, and would like to request Ankush bhai till that time to share the screen and address the attendees. If you
Yes,
can
definitely,
share
sir.
the screen also.
Surely, Virag bhai. So, Virag bhai, is my screen visible?
Not yet, sir. Control is with you. You can share.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
now
it
it is
visible now?
visible. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Dear audience and respected CAs colleague, please hear to this 1 minute 2 videos. This will also give you some idea that how the entire system functions. So I'm just opening this.
यदि हमारा रिटन एग्रीमेंट है तो रिटन एग्रीमेंट नहीं है तो 15 दिन के अंदर अंदर आपको मुझे पैसा देना है, तभी एज अ एक्सपेंस आप वो क्लेम कर पाएंगे अपनी बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट। समय पर पेमेंट कीजिए तो आपको एक्सपेंस अलाउ हो जाएगा, डिले करेंगे तो जब पेमेंट करेंगे तब एक्सपेंस तो अलाउ हो जाएगा, लेकिन उस पे 20% अप्रोक्स इंटरेस्ट भी पे करना पड़ेगा, जो आपको कभी भी अलाउ नहीं, because you have not respected this provision and you have delayed the payment, जिससे मेरी वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल भी हिल जाती। बस मेरी एक ही दरख्वास्त है कि हमारे सारे एमएसएमई भाई बंधुओं को इस प्रोविजन से अवगत कराइए ताकि उनको उनका पेमेंट समय पर मिल सके।
So you closely work with MSMEs. तो ये जो नया सेक्शन है 43BH of Income Tax Act 1961, how is it affecting them and why is it talk of the town?
करण भाई, ये टॉक ऑफ द टाउन नहीं है, टॉक ऑफ द नेशन। सेक्शन 43BH, मैं सर्विस दे रहा हूँ, आप सर्विस ले रहे हैं, मेरे लिए वो इनकम हो गई, आपके लिए वो एक्सपेंस हो गया। आपको एक्सपेंस यदि इनकम टैक्स के रूल के हिसाब से बुक्स में अलाउ करवाना है तो आपको मुझे 45 डेज के अंदर में मेरी सर्विसेज का पेमेंट करना है, यदि हमारा रिटन एग्रीमेंट है तो। रिटन एग्रीमेंट नहीं है तो 15 दिन के अंदर अंदर आपको मुझे पैसा देना है, तभी एज अ।
Okay, so guy, I hope you guys have heard this.
काफी सारे influencers.
Yes, I also shared
one
the
more.
link for that on the chat box. So if you have not listened,
Surely,
you can click on the link as well. And would like to request everyone to subscribe EMS Ajwa EMS
Virag,
on
just
Instagram.
let them hear this also, the impact.
कर पाऊंगा नहीं कर पाऊंगा, मैं 100 रुपए मान लीजिए, तो 100 रुपए एक ही बार घूमते हैं तो उस पर मेरा 20% प्रॉफिट है, 20 रुपए मेरे को मिल गए, गवर्नमेंट को 18% जीएसटी मिल गई। पर ऐसी क्या चुनौती है कि वो 100 रुपए साल में 10 बार नहीं घुमाए जा सकते। अब अज्यूम कीजिए वो 100 रुपए 10 बार सर्कुलर और फंड हो रहा है, 10 बार कंजम्पशन इकोनॉमी प्रमोट हो रही है, तो उसी 100 रुपए पे मैं 200 रुपए कमा रहा हूँ, गवर्नमेंट 180 रुपए कमा रही है, मुझे सर्कुलर और इकोनॉमी का बेनिफिट मिलेगा, मेरा चर्निंग ज्यादा हो रहा है, मैं स्केल ऑफ द इकोनॉमी को अचीव कर सकता हूँ, मेरी कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन कम हो जाएगी। तो जो प्रोडक्ट मैं 100 रुपए में आज आपको दे रहा हूँ वो मैं 80 रुपए में देके भी 20 रुपए बचा सकता हूँ। 20 रुपए चाहिए प्रॉफिट हर ट्रांजेक्शन में, 20 रुपए मल्टीप्लाई बैठे हैं 200 रुपए, लेकिन सामने वाले को भी 20 रुपए का डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, उसको 100 की जगह 80 रुपए में पड़ रहा है। इससे इन्फ्लेशन कम होगा, इससे ग्रोथ होगी, इससे अगेन स्केल ऑफ द इकोनॉमी आएगी, इससे मैं एक्सपोर्ट कॉम्पिटिटिव भी बनूंगा, इससे मुझे वर्किंग कैपिटल की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। आप इसके बेनिफिट देखेंगे तो बेनिफिट ही बेनिफिट है, लॉस तो दूर दूर तक कोई समझ में ही नहीं आता है।
काफी सारे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स ने प्रोविजन समझाया है, बट किसी ने इसका।
Okay, thank you so much guys for hearing this out. So guys, this Samadhan and 43BH are interlinked, and this 43BH is so revolutionary in nature that if it has been implemented properly, our GDP itself can grow by more than 1%. So this is the slide which suggests the impact of this section. And if the implementation of this section is not done properly, then only Samadhan application and all things comes into place. So I would just quickly go through this the impact on MSE, government, economy, and bank. So application to Samadhan is required when there is any dispute or when the payment is not done timely. But if you will see what Nirmala Sitharamanji explained, that this is not a new provision or the Samadhan is not a new concept. It is there since 2008. But all the MSE are actually violating the provision. All the buyers are actually violating the provision. The 45 days rule was there since beginning. And if it has been implemented, and why it will be implemented now? Because they have amended this provision through disallowance of the expenditure which is not being paid in the same financial year. And even if it is paid in the same financial year and it is delayed beyond 45 days, then the 20% rate of interest is huge penalty to the buyer. So that is how it has become a revolutionary provision, and everyone is now providing for and releasing payment to the micro and small entities. So this is the impact. If it will be implemented in a true sense, there will be a shorter credit period for micro and small enterprises, fast recovery of amount, no cash crunch, increase in the survival rate. So I hope you guys are aware that most of the businesses don't survive beyond 4 years. And the one critical reason is the lack of working capital management. It will also enhance the purchasing power for all the people. It will reduce the inflation. It will increase the churning of funds. It will also ensure less NPA from the banking ecosystem. The MSME pays direct and indirect tax both. So government will get benefit of both direct and indirect tax collection, and likewise on and on and on. So there are n number of such benefits available if we implement that provision in a true sense. So while Bhandari sir has explained the Samadhan portal wonderfully well, I just hope that we do not even need to apply for that. The implementation is on our hand. We are chartered accountant and we are the auditor. So if we suggest everyone to understand this provision and sensitize all the stakeholders, the funding, the circulation, everyone will be streamlined, and the Samadhan portal will be will become redundant after few years if it has been implemented properly. So I am available for the questions, and to know more about such schemes, you can always browse through emsme.com, or you can follow us on the Instagram. We basically working with all chartered accountant across India. As of now, we have 225 plus chartered accountant working with us as a business partner. So like if anyone wants to have the Samadhan kind of request, then we suggest, or we send those requests to the chartered accountant who are serving those location where you belong. So then they can through online application they can support you. And not only Samadhan, for each MSME service query, there are different the funding, and we have just collaborated all the chartered accountant to work together to serve MSME in a proper manner under one umbrella, so they can get served in all aspects, whether it is direct support or compliance support or the appellate or tribunal support or the IP support. So that kind of platform we have built. And over here in our platform, if we put the UDMA registration certificate number, then you can get to know all government scheme, whether they have issued by the direct tax or indirect tax or central government or state government or any nodal agency or any district level. So to give you a brief, there are 150 plus policy made by all these government and nodal agencies, and out of which around 600 plus government schemes comes, and out of which around 1500 plus government benefits comes. Basis URC, in 3 minutes you can come to know that which all government scheme applicable to that MSME, and those can be bucket into the capital subsidy or the reimbursement kind of scheme or the grant or collateral free loan. So likewise, different category or bucketing has been done by us through algorithm, and that algorithm function basis NIC code which are explained and basis URC. So these two has all the credential which is required for that portal to know which government scheme is applicable for you. Once you generate that scheme discovery report, then charter accountant firm who are available in your localities, they help you preparing the document and applying for those government scheme through the portal, either online or in the offline model. And wherever charter accountant firm do not have that bandwidth, then our availment network partner, they support and get that benefit made available in your account. So this is in brief, guys. If you have any question and if you need any further support, please do let us know. We are working with the nation building agenda, and our theme is MSME Badega, Desh Badega. Shukriya. Over to you, Virag bhai. So if we have question, I'm here to answer. And Sachin bhai, if you want to share some thoughts, please go ahead and share.
Sachin bhai, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. I think both of you have covered both the aspects very well. So nothing much to add, and especially considering that a lot has already been spoken about the impact, and you have also shared, Ankush, about why we have started this particular initiative and this this platform, and how collaboratively we want to work with the CA fraternity to provide the solutions to MSME at large. So I think we have covered it all. The topic is of great importance, Samadhan and of course the 43BH. So nothing much to be added from my end. Great initiative, Virag bhai, and I think most of them will benefit from today's session. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you so much, Sachin bhai. Let me check if we have any question. So I don't think we have any question. Would like to request everyone to visit the EMSME website and also all the social media handle of EMSME as well, because there are so many reels and the policy and the scheme we are creating with the in an interesting way, in a way of reel and easy to understand, and in a small bites. So you don't have to attend entire webinar for the particular scheme. Like there are so many schemes from the SIDB. So we have created reel for that. Would like to request everyone to check those reels as well. And if it's interest to you or your client, you can again reach out to us for the availment. We are also helping in the availment part as well. So with this, we can conclude our today's session. It's a great session, Rubbal bhai. A wonderful session. There are so many comments for you for the session in our GoToWebinar, and apart from that, we have a comment on LinkedIn, on YouTube as well. And let me tell you, everyone here, we have a comment from JK Shah sir. First comment from JK Shah sir on our today's webinar. A wonderful initiative. So it's our great privilege to receive the appreciation from him. We are very thankful to him as well. So with this, we can conclude. And Rubbal bhai session is already announced, or we can say fixed, in Dhule branch of WRC of ICAI as well. Chairman sir has told that there's a very interesting topic and we would like to invite speaker. So we have already shared the number. He may plan in the month of May or June. Accordingly, we'll connect and we can plan the session for the physical session at Dhule branch as well. So thank you once again, Ankush bhai, for the vision you created for the entire MSMEs across India. More than 10 crore MSMEs, and you are creating not just taxpayer but obviously a Labharthi for the Government of India scheme and the state government scheme as well. So it's a great initiative from you, and we are thankful to you. You have created that vision and created that platform for the MSMEs and the businesses, along with the co-founder and the entire eMSME team. Once again, with this, we thank you. Thanks to all the attendees for who has attended and taken the question answer and make the session as an interactive. Would like to request Ankush Bhai to share the last slide if it's available, because people are asking for the contact details. So you can directly take from the eMSME website as well. And we'll share the presentation from Rubbal Bhai, as well as we'll share the presentation of Ankush Bhai as well, which is visible as of now. And in that you will get the contact detail as well. Or you can reach out to me as well. We'll share the contact detail of all the concerned. So with this, we are concluding today's session. Thank you all. Thank you all the attendees for making this webinar interactive and successful. Thank you, Sachin Bhai. Thank you, Ankush Bhai. Thank you, Rubbal Bhai, and also Sagar Garg ji, who is the chairman of Dhule branch, for making the grant.
Thank you. A wonderful time so here.
Yeah,
guys, consider these both PPT and all the platform yours only. MSME बढ़ेगा, देश बढ़ेगा, हम सब साथ में बढ़ जाएंगे उनके.
Yeah,
definitely, sir. And I think I'd just like to add this, that yes, definitely this is a great initiative. क्योंकि आजकल people just do not have the knowledge about MSME and the benefits which they have, right? समाधान का भी काफी सारे लोगों को knowledge नहीं है. So through this platform, I'm sure a lot of people will get to know about this, especially our professional colleagues. They can get a lot of benefit from this.
And one of the other points that Rubbal Bhai made right at the beginning through his slide also, this is one more additional avenue that we as the CAs can start contributing to for MSME's development, in a process, of course, adding additional revenue source to our portfolio of services that we are doing. So collectively, because serving MSMEs, the large numbers is not going to happen with one or two CAs. It is, I think, we as a fraternity, if we can contribute towards these initiatives by government, that would be really great.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Very good point taken. As a tax auditor and as a statutory auditor, we have access to the books of accounts, and in certain cases, we have to report our outstanding debts more than 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. So here we can help our client as well to recover his money, and that can add to our revenues as well. So it is a win-win situation for both.
Yeah. So thank you once again, Rubbal Bhai. Just one more announcement. We have a session on 4th May. We have our speaker, C. Ankush Bhai Jain, entire session on cash flow, why and how it is important, and in and around about the MSMEs, because MSMEs without cash is nothing movable, or there is a cash crunch, and then it is very difficult. So we have a session from C. Ankush Bhai Jain, and we have a chief guest or keynote speaker as a CA Piyush Chhajed, who is Central Council member. He has already given his acceptance, and we have a session on 4th May on Saturday. So do join us on that as well. So with this announcement, we are concluding our today's session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Shukriya.
Thank you.